Recently, I made a couple of videos asking about Wasps. Yes, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And like most of the videos on this channel, I didn't come up with that. I didn't think, hey, I should make a video about wasps, because that's not a word that I use or even hear. So much of the titles of these videos are based off of comments from other videos where I'm just responding to another person. And sure enough, I make the videos about wasp, and that was a reoccurring comment. Well, who even uses that term anymore? It's not relevant. Okay, well, let's try to make it relevant. Here's my question. If this concept of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Americans is this image of the people with all the money, and let me go ahead and intersect right there. In my mind, WASP is the old term. A more relevant term for that would actually be old money. To me, instead of ever saying a WASP, I would think, oh yeah, that's old money. That's someone who's not into, things like making money from YouTube videos like I do, or from my blog, SEO, that sort of thing. It's all old bank money, real estate money they invested. It's from several generations before. Ultimately, their grandkids are going to inherit it all. Old money, and their great-grandfather, instead of having a name like James William Robertson, it was J.W. Robert. They went by their initials. Old money. Some would say WASP. I say old money. But let's make this relevant for 2019. When we think of these people who are these very influential people with a lot of money from a very certain specific background that combines their ethnic background along with their religion, what would be the modern version of that in America? If there was one, if we had to try to figure out what it was, what would it be? Now, if you're familiar with my videos, you can probably very accurately predict what I'm going to say. So let's have fun. If you think you know what I'm going to say, I'm going to give you a moment right now to just put in the comment. I know while the video is running, just type it in and go ahead and say that, so that when the video is over and I reveal my answer, you can brag that you are right. Because I think that I really am that predictable. So if I was forced to, and you said, Nick, who are the new wasps? What's Nick Shell going to say? What's this guy going to say? The Jews. And I'm actually going to say it's been that way for a while. I'm actually going to say it's hard to know exactly when, but for me, in my mind, especially starting in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, Jewish Americans became the new wasps. And conveniently, we've still got an ethnic background going back to, I'm going to say, the Middle East. Some people like to say, well, they're actually, in my mind, if we look at the religious texts, we're going all the way back to Iraq and Turkey, right? But like I just mentioned, there's also the religious affiliation there as well. So we've got ethnic background, religious background. We've also got the fact we've got a group of people who generally here in America are really good and innovative when it comes to generating income. When you consider, and no one can deny that Hollywood was built by Jewish people, so much of the banking industry here in America, Jewish people. So many of our artists that we celebrate here, Jewish. So many people that make the movies that the rest of the world watches, Jewish. Now I understand, by the time they get to my age, I'm about to be 38, my generation, I'm the oldest of the millennials. Perhaps the Jewish people my age are not full Jewish. Perhaps they had one parent that was not. But still, you're going to see that was passed down, that ability to create and innovate, where you've got this Venn diagram of a specific ethnic background, a specific religious background, and the ability to kind of hold that money, but to be able to grow that money. For me, that would be the obvious choice, but I could be obviously wrong. Because as we know on this channel, people regularly leave comments telling me that I'm wrong, ignorant, or immoral. So I'm just always waiting for those comments because I know that's what people reduce me to. But for people who are more intelligent than that and want to have this engaging conversation, I would love to hear what you have to say. When it really comes down to it, are Jewish Americans the new Wasps, even though no one really says wasp anymore? What do you think? Right here in the comments.